Welcome back to this week's SEL lesson on conflict resolution, perspective taking, being able to recognize the other person's perspective. As we talked about last week, conflicts can go from a minor conflict to a major conflict really quickly. We discussed how not managing your emotions, making assumptions, jumping to conclusions, and involving others are a surefire way to escalate a conflict. All relationships have ups and downs, and even healthy relationships have conflict. Today, we will talk about how to prevent a conflict from escalating by being able to see the conflict through the other person's perspective, also known as perspective taking. Let's watch this short video to help explain what we mean when we talk about perspective taking. video you just watched, you could see that the two characters had two very different perspectives regarding the same situation. The old lady's perspective was that he was taking her cookies that she fought so hard to get. The boy's perspective was that he thought the old lady was really hungry, so he was sharing his cookies with her. Interesting, huh? Now, let's take a look at this scenario between Simon and Riley. Simon and Riley were supposed to meet at the park at 4:30 to play basketball. Simon waited nearly 45 minutes. When Riley finally showed up and tried to apologize, Simon grabbed his things and walked away. They haven't spoken in 2 days. Teachers, please pause the video here and ask students to share their answers to the following questions. How would you feel if you were Simon? How would you feel if you were Riley? How would their feelings be different if they knew that the other person's perspective was, what if Simon knew that Riley babysits a kid who lives next door and the kid's mom got home late from work that day? What if Riley knew that Simon couldn't stay long at the park that day because it was his dad's birthday and he needed to get home to surprise him? Now, let's talk more about perspective taking with this scenario. Taylor and her friend decide to hang out at her friend's house after school. They have a great time and Taylor is deliberately ignoring texts from her dad. When she gets home, her dad is really upset with her. He didn't know where she was. He has a rule that he needs to know where she is and that she has to ask permission before she goes anywhere. Taylor thinks that since she's in 8th grade, she shouldn't have to do this anymore. Her dad should trust her more. Taylor tells her dad that she's not a little girl anymore and storms off to her room and slams the door. Now, teachers, please pause the video here and take the next 5 to 10 minutes for students to answer the following questions. What do you think Taylor's father's thinking? What do you think Taylor is thinking? What do you think Taylor's father is needing or wanting? And what do you think Taylor is needing or wanting? Over the last couple of weeks, we've learned quite a bit about conflict resolution. The SOLVE method is a really effective way to deal with conflict in a healthy and productive manner. We also learned the difference between a minor and a major conflict and how to de-escalate a conflict in order to avoid it from going from minor to major. Today, we talked about perspective taking and how important it is to try to see the other person's perspective when you are in a conflict. Perspective taking is a skill that takes some practice, but it is really an important part of positive communication in any relationship, especially when trying to work through a conflict. Thank you and have a great week.